leader can be struggling silently, but it's something that he finds help. For example, I was telling you a story I was hearing about a CEO who had to go to a hospital to be admitted. Only that for him, he just needed sleep and rest to avoid emails, dealing with problems every day. But his mental health just required him to be somewhere quiet for 2 days and just take a break from the whole world. You see, that's a normal situation.
Wave Beats Music.
Hello, karibu tena katika show ya Tubonge Bila Kiki. Tuliambiaga hapa it's all about mental health, which is our business. Ni kufundishana, kuelimishana, kusaidiana, alafu cha muhimu kujengana imani. Biashara, relationships, healing na reconciliation. Niliambiaga hapa peke yake tulisema healing lazima iambatane na reconciliation. Umejikubali vipi, unaendelea vipi, na kuwa hapa na kuletea a story and ina change another story. Maana cha muhimu ni kwambie ni neno la kukutia moyo. Na leo tumejua kwamba hii mwezi ni mwezi wa mental health. Watu wanasema May, month of mental wellness. Lakini wewe health yako ya kiakili iko vipi? Maana tunasemanga tumejua kwenda hospitali kupimwa hali zingine, lakini umeenda kwa hospitali kumwambia unataka kuangaliwa kichwa. Watu wanaona ni mzamza, lakini huku nje watu wengi sana wanasafa, hawataki kuongea. Ndipo tuko hapa kusaidia na kukutia moyo. Leo tumebahatika sana kupata mgeni out of kutoka Nairobi hadi akafika hapa ili kuja kufundisha, kukueleza na usikwe peke yako, yani ujue uko na wenzako. Karibu sana Dennis katika Tubonge Bila Kiki. Nilikutafuta kwa muda tu. Unaipaa kama ni Nairobi distance inakuwa ngumu.
I think distance, I think schedule, tena kazi. Yeah, but we are here.
We are here. Tunasema ipo siku imefika. So napenda ungependa ujiintroduce, watu wakujue wewe ni nani? Ndio.
Thank you, Shirley.
Karibu.
My name kwa majina naitwa Dennis Kinyanjui. I work for Kokoro Group. I'm one of the brains behind the name Kokoro. Kokoro started just before COVID in 2020, and the business revolves around the philosophy, Japanese philosophy, mind, body, spirit, and soul. But the main primary business is that we are an advertising agency, and we do a lot of events, engagement, PR, but mental health, wellness, youth empowerment, that's our core pillar in our part of our business and services.
Because actually hapa nakujua, lakini leo tumekuja kama Tubonge. So unaweza kumwelezea msikilizaji nini ilikufanya hadi ukaanza Kokoro? Unajua for someone to start something, either umeona kitu ama yani jambo limetokea ndipo unaanza kitu. Why na kwa nini ilikufanya motisha mpaka kuanza?
I think kwa kwetu, my dad is actually an entrepreneur. He's been running his business throughout his life. So hata wakati nilikuwa tumezaliwa, when I was a young boy, I used to go to my father's office. So I think it's something ilikuwa tu ndani yangu. But myself nimekuwa in corporate for the last I'll say about 18 years. I've worked in a corporate. I've been employed for different companies. But kwa roho yangu ndani, I can say that I really wanted to start my own business that involved my own work. Let me say my God-given purpose work.
Passion.
Yes.
Unajua tunasema, and it's good kwamba Kokoro mostly we deal with mental, and hiyo pia it's our business here in Tubonge. So that's why I think tunaambatana.
Exactly.
So maybe a month when people are celebrating mental health, watu wanasema kila mtu kimuuliza sika uko sawa, mental health yangu haiko sawa. Badala kwambia kuna stress, na kwambia tu my mental haiko sawa. So maybe ukifafanua mtu akwambia mental yangu haiko sawa, anamaanisha nini? What is mental health?
I think for me mental health means your well-being. Number one, I think mtu akikuuliza whether you're doing okay or mental health on its own. It's for me to say, first of all, I'm at peace with myself. kwa roho yangu niko sawa, I'm at peace and I'm okay. Yeah, so for me I can say mental health is your well-being as a person.
And what inspired you to be that mental health advocate?
I'll tell you something very interesting, Shirley. Mental health wasn't a choice for me. It was a calling.
The way you do it very nicely.
Yeah, for me I'd say it was a calling. I'll tell you why it was a calling. When we were starting Kokoro in 2020, just before COVID, I was approached by many organizations. Actually, 2 organizations approached me and they wanted to do an event for mental health. They had seen us online, we were just starting up, and they asked me whether I could help them put together an event for mental health. So at the time, I think mental health was very vague. It was a topic, COVID had just struck the country. All of us were trying to figure out what's happening. And for me, I felt, okay, this is something that I'll be interested to do. But I think at the time the event was underfunded, it was a bit vague, and it did not take place, unfortunately. But something within my heart told me I had to do something about it. So in 2021, I did the Kokoro Festival. Actually, if you go online, on YouTube, you'll find, if you search Kokoro Festival 2021, you'll see, I'll call it a documentary of the Kokoro Festival talking about mental health. And we were using music as a way to break, that stigma. Yeah, just using music to create awareness about mental health. And we worked with popular artists who came and supported us. And we were able to execute a successful event about mental health. Of course, in partnership with medical hospitals. Kokoro is not a medical hospital, but we have partners like the Aga Khan Hospital. We've had Mata Hospital supporting us, and Nairobi West Hospital and Equity Afya being our partners over the years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Congrats for the partner. You're not looking for a partner, someone lazima mona kitu.
Ni kweli.
Okay. So what is your biggest maybe misconception that umepata in mental health?
For example, I think the biggest misconception is that mental health is for the broken or weak people. I think many people when you hear mental health, people say you're broken or you're weak. I think that's a common misconception. Another thing I'd say is therapy. Many people think for you to go through therapy, you need probably to have something wrong with you.
Actually, but I think that this is right. Only people go for therapy unless the doctor has advised.
Exactly.
But do you think it's normal for someone, how many times and find it go on therapy?
For me, I would say therapy it's you. You're getting to understand yourself. Therapy is for your own well-being as a person. Okay. I would say for me personally, I also do therapy with my wife. We get to understand different. We were both raised differently.
True.
And for us, it helps us to understand one another better. It helps us communicate with one another in a deeper level. Okay. But of course, with the guidance of a clinical psychologist who's able to introduce different topics, for example, like attachment styles, for example, that helps you understand what is your attachment style. And
what is my attachment? Attachment style, you need to teach us. If I go to the therapist,
so for example, there's a secure attachment style. Is your attachment style secure? So, for example, secure can mean the way your parents raised you. Okay. They raised you to feel confident, secure in yourself. You can go to your parents and tell them, Mom, Dad, I went through this problem, and they help you, to understand that emotion. But for example, mine, I don't want to discuss it on TV right now, but it means it's something different. For example, you can be avoidant. What are you avoidant about? But again, when you discuss it, it means maybe, for example, you avoid situations that will stress you. It's like a boundary.
Oh,
you get it? It's like it's a protection. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Yeah. So that's just an example.
Now you see people, the way you've said that, people are raised different, and everyone comes with different style. Still, we are on topic of mental. So how do you feel, how do you even approach the breaking stigma, maybe in mental in different communities, or even the age group. You know, wazazi wetu, watoto wetu, na watoto wetu. There's that age group. How do you break that stigma?
I think for me it's to change the language. I'll say demystifying first of all what mental health is. You see, to our parents or kitambo, you'll hear some people saying mtu ni mwenda wazimu. You're wondering what does mwenda wazimu mean, you know?
Okay.
But for me to break that stigma would be first of all to use common language. So it's to ask you, like for example, Shani, how are you today? Did you sleep well last night? You know, I'm actually concerned about your well-being. So it's to break that barrier, even through friendship, and ask you, are you okay at work? Is work stressing you? You see, that's breaking the barrier of that stigma. It's using just common language, but with the understanding that I'm concerned about your well-being.
When you're speaking that, something just came across. You know, nowadays, even children under 18 years, mental, either because maybe in economy or family issues and everything. And also, wazazi, when someone tells an under 18 years, I'm above 18, tell someone like, I say, you know, you got a mental health. Mzazi anakuambia, ai, wewe mtoto mdogo, unatoa wapi stress? No, it happens.
Yeah.
So someone, how can you talk to those parents, ama mtu, a guardian, even when someone becomes stressed, it doesn't mean ni mtoto mkubwa kabisa. Even the young people wako na pressure. Because we end up finding out most cases, depression, they're under 35 years.
Very true. The youth.
You understand? Because I feel like when they come out to speak, someone tried to silence them like one. I wanted to encourage that person, I'm mzazi, I'm a guardian, so that can understand kwamba mental health inaweza affect anybody at any time.
Thank you, Shari. I think mental health, in my own opinion, can affect anybody. Even a CEO, for example, in a company, a leader, can be struggling silently, but it's something that he finds help. For example, I was telling you a story I was hearing about a CEO who had to go to a hospital to be admitted. Only that for him, he just needed sleep and rest to avoid emails, dealing with problems every day. But his mental health just required him to be somewhere quiet for 2 days. And just take a break from the whole world. You see, that's a normal situation. That's a CEO. But for a young person who's dealing with something, maybe hurting them inside, I would say look for a friend, look for someone, at least one person you feel that you can trust. Either it can be your parent. I don't know if you have a close relationship with your parent, or it can be a guardian. Just start small. You don't have to communicate to the whole world and tell the whole world you're going through something. Just start by talking to somebody you can, you can have trust and tell them what you're feeling. And at least start small. You don't have to say everything that you're going through. So that way it allows you to share whatever you're going through with that friend.
So parents just, when someone tells them I'm stressed, they need to be a good listener.
Exactly.
Instead of not saying we should not.
Exactly.
Because you had mentioned about the CEO. I think CEO was doing the self-care treatment. So what role does actually self-care play in mental health? How does one supposed to practice it?
For me, I'd say first and foremost, my number one rule for self-care is taking care of your peace. For me, I'll tell you what that looks like. I told you I'm a golfer.
Yes.
For me, I learned how to play golf 5 years ago. I've always been a sports person. I used to play rugby in my teenage years. But I think towards my corporate career, I decided to play golf.
I don't know. How can you be a corporate without playing a rugby?
I mean, rugby was my early youth, my teenage growth. But for me, golf was a way where I could get away from the corporate office, or get away from the busy running up and down. For me, it's a place where I can break away from the silence. When you're in the golf course, you don't answer your phones. There's a rule, you know. You're away from the phone, you're away from many things. So it's a place where you can just take a walk, enjoy, have you know, a good competitiveness with yourself, interact with other people. So for me, that's what self-care looks like, and for me that's a #1 priority in terms of taking care of your mental health. So that's for me.
So once you have the care, now you keep on practicing it.
Yeah, so for me I'd say look for what works for you. You know, for me, I said I chose golf because that's something I had an interest in. It can be something like doing music, playing a piano, or learning an instrument. You know, it can be many things. It's for you to identify nini in a work for you.
In a work, then you keep on practicing.
Exactly.
I think, okay, people are walking, I think.
Yeah, that's also self-care.
Well, you know me, it says maybe I can go to gym, I can go to evening walks.
Exactly.
Every day I practice it, at least I be seeing something new and you learn. So it's not a must to find a golf. Anything can really happen.
Exactly.
So you do anything, hata kuna shooting sometimes. Mnasikia mimi nimeenda shoot. Unachanga mtu, mbona naenda shooting huyu? Kumbe mtu ameenda kwa sababu ya practice. So when you see someone doing something for so many times, we understand maybe someone is doing according to what feels it's okay for them to heal. Ever since you've started Kokoro and this journey, what has been your biggest moments? Yes.
I think for me it was the Kokoro Festival 2021. I think I came to the actualization that I touched not only one person, but I touched a community, because Kokoro Festival was just the initiation. And later, I think annually, I developed a movement within the golf environment, because it's an environment where I happen to be all the time. And what made me really happy was I could hear other men from different professional backgrounds comfortably talking about their mental health. So for me, I was like, okay, wow. So the fact that I've been sponsoring this event every year, you know, and people are now talking about it comfortably between friends. Even my friends, when you meet on a Friday after work and we're having just a conversation together, I mean, we're always reflecting about different things. For example, our parents, our childhood. You know, that's taking care of our well-being. So for me, I'll say that has stood out for me.
At least for them, they talk.
Yeah.
No, there are people who don't. People prefer silence. The next time I'm like, someone has already killed themselves. So what advice would you give someone who is struggling with mental issues, but he or she is afraid to speak out because of the judgment or think that as is same? What advice can you tell them?
For me, I don't want to quantify what the mental health issue is.
No, someone like is really struggling, depression. Let's say depression. Someone is going through something, and at least your friends talk. Maybe because you go pamoja, and you go to places where you hear them talking. But this someone is at home, suffering alone, and is afraid of speaking out.
I think my advice would be, first of all, to come to the actualization that it's not something that is affecting you as a person. There's nothing wrong with you, first of all. You're just struggling with one challenge that is not permanent. It's something very temporary. Whatever that feeling that is making you feel so down, it's something that can be worked on. It's something that you can talk to somebody about it. I think I mentioned earlier that you can identify even one person. I'm sure you can get one person. It doesn't have to be even a close friend, but somebody you can reach out to. There are self-help care groups online that you can even go online and talk about it. You can get a therapist online and you can just get to express whatever you feel. And that's just a first step. And from there, I think you're able to now address the issues step by step.
Oh, wow. I think instead of dying alone, try to talk to somebody. Let somebody hear your story. I should have a say personally, it's better I hear your story than coming to your funeral and hear your history. So it's better you talk so that we can help you. Rather than sitting down, then you tell someone, I met you. And being in Kokoro Group, we're dealing about Kokoro. How do you feel maybe the public can better support mental initiative or being advocates?
For me, I would say even part of my advocacy for mental health is to embed mental health in all institutions. For example, number one, education systems. If we can lobby the government to introduce mental health into education as early as primary school, I think that will be impactful to the community, because by the time these children are growing up, they're understanding that mental health is actually something that can be understood. Number two, people who are working, for example, in the corporate environment. It can be one of a course or a short-term course someone can get to know about. So during all these HR retreats and things like that, bring speakers into those events, talk about them, and just make it like something that is common, and this can be also in our small groups and communities. Again, just for example, like we told you what we do with Kokoro Group. We do every year, we use sports or we use music to embed.
Pass a message.
Exactly.
Because you know what I'm thinking. So I'm here meeting you Kinyanjui, kina director Tiger. So before we do our shoot, wewe ukwaje?
Yeah, exactly.
You mean that before we start a meeting?
How did you sleep? Did you sleep last night?
So before we start an agenda, we need to check on mental. I think we have learned something from there. Before we start anything, try to ask your friend or your neighbor, how are you? I think it's something that we take it lightly. Someone say, I'm fine.
I think Kizungu maybe ilikuja in a way that we didn't understand, but actually, how are you? Like, just as some ukoaje.
So when someone say I'm fine, because I saw fine means you are not okay. No, it's so fine. When you read it very well, go and search, how are you? I'm fine. What are you fine for?
Ni kama fine ile ya koti.
Exactly.
Being fine.
So in the you have a lot going on. Ask me, try to ask me.
How are you, Shani?
I'm awesome. I'm blessed. I'm favored, and I'm loved.
Fantastic.
You see, you respond now, people now you know your mental health. Because so when you say you're fine, it's just one word. Why are you fine?
It's true.
I think we need to learn how to respond to something. And if for mental health, if you start saying I'm blessed, now you're mental, let's say sina stress, Nikonan, I'm blessed, I'm perfect. Now you are speaking life. That's why it's called mental. Now your mental health becomes better.
Exactly.
I think that's what, according to me.
I agree. I couldn't have said it better, Sally.
I think that's what I can do. And maybe since you've been in here, what do you feel the public can support to change this mental wellness thing?
For me, I say the public needs to change the narrative. Let's all change the narrative. We all have brothers, sisters, cousins, relatives who are all suffering something, including ourselves. We are not perfect. We've all gone through something that has weighed us down. And sometimes I say that we've probably gone through healing even without knowing that we went through healing. So I think it's just a conscious awakening, I think, in society that we need to advocate for. And once people are aware and they're knowledgeable about mental health, then I think it opens a door to endless possibilities.
Wow. Asante sana. At least today nimeweza kulearn kitu. Amesema society awakening. I usually only know no spiritual awakening.
Conscious awakening.
Because I mean I get to spiritual.
No, it's the same thing.
It's the same. You see, we are learning every day to learn, and that's why we are telling them in Tubonge Bila Kiki, we learn every day, and you help someone understand something that maybe I live. Doesn't mean you don't understand because you are a fool. No, it's because you are supposed to learn something here. But tell us one thing that people don't know about Dennis.
I talked about
no. That's one. No, there's one thing that people don't know.
For me, I think as a person, I believe in many things. But one thing people don't know about me, you'll be surprised. I used to play the trombone in high school. So, and I used to be in the choir when I was in primary school.
Joke.
Yeah, actually, I started playing the trombone when I was in standard 6.
Okay.
All the way to Form 4, actually, for my music exam.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think music has always been at the center of my soul. Yeah, so I'll say that.
Tuko na mwana kwaya in the area. So make sure kama uja subscribe, kindly subscribe to Tubonge Bila Kiki, and thank you Kokoro Group for kukubali vitu wetu na kukuja.
Thank you,
And tell a friend, it's all about Tubonge Bila Kiki. Mental health is our business. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Music.